Alright, what's up everybody? I'm going to show you guys the easiest way to change out an axle on an S550 Mustang. A lot of the videos that show you how to do it, it'll get done, but this is by far the easiest way. You'll be done in like 30 minutes per side, maybe even less, and you only need a couple tools. You're going to need an 18 mil, 15, and a 10. You'll need a 32 millimeter socket for the axle nut, and a 21 because I have stock lug nuts, but whatever lug nut wrench you have. And then you'll need this also for the one of the lower bolts. You'll need 2 wrenches. I just got an electric ratchet and a wrench. And then if you have aftermarket toe arms, which I do, you're gonna need a 22 mil. I don't have a 22 mil wrench, but it's 7/8. It's pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna set you guys up, show you guys the easiest way to do it. Alright, so once you got the wheel off, first thing you're gonna need to take off is 32 millimeter nut for your axle nut. Best to do it now, the parking brake's still on. And then if you don't have a Milwaukee, you could use a breaker bar and you should be able to break it loose. Boom, that's the nut. Set it aside. I'm gonna bring you guys in. Alright, so now that I got you guys in here, what you're really taking off is going to be this nut with this bolt. So I have an aftermarket camber arm, but it'll be this bolt as well. It'll be flipped on a stock camber arm. You're going to remove the caliper bracket, the whole bracket, and then you're also going to take out this ABS wire. And then you're going to take off on the bottom, it'll be this bolt, that's the 21, and then this bolt right here, which is for aftermarket toe arms. Also, I forgot one tool. Now that I was just thinking about it, you're also going to need an 8 mil. So we got an 8 mil, 10 mil, 15, 18, and then the 21 for that lower bolt. And then for stock, the stock toe arms, I want to say it's an 18. It may be a 19. I don't remember completely because I've had these toe arms for a while, but I know for most aftermarket toe arms it's a 22 or 7/8, standard. So I'm gonna time lapse you real quick, show you how easy it is to take it off. All right, you know what? I decided might as well do it live. So gonna take the 8 mil. I'll take off. Actually, you're gonna take off the ABS wire here. Little bolt. So I'll take off this wire right here. Boom. Grab the 10 mil. I'll take out the bolt that holds the e-brake line to the knuckle, and then I'm gonna bring you in close to show you this part. And then you're basically going to make sure you can see. So you see this right here? It's 2 little tongs. Push it one side, push the other. Boom. Pull it. Then release it. Make sure your e-brake's off or you'll struggle getting this off. I'm gonna show you, these are the 2 tongs right here. So you push one, and then you're gonna rotate it, pull the other one. It's pretty simple. You'll understand it when you see it. So now that you got it off, you're gonna come back over here. Come back over here. And you're gonna bring up your 18, and then your 15 on your spare ratchet. Boom. So what I like to do for this upper vertical link bolt, it's got a tang on it to keep it from turning, but I like to just put this on here to reassure that it doesn't turn. So I'm taking these off so many times. So I'll loosen it right here. And then for the upper camber bolt, flip it, and loosen it too. Now you can do this with hand tools. This ratchet just makes it quicker. It's a little tight. Boom. So. Boom. Bolt. The washer. And then I'll swap them. That is loosened. Boom. I like to sometimes just throw the bolts back on there, and you can identify which one is which. So this is the vertical link bolt. This is that tang I was talking about. This stays on the knuckle, and as you loosen it, it's kind of like a stop to keep it from turning. But I will put on an 18 on here and just do it manually. It's better because once you take these off a lot, sometimes this tang gets a little damaged, or it'll start eating into the aluminum knuckle. Boom. And then the upper camber bolt. Sometimes we gotta come in with a 15, just back it off. And then this is the camber bolt right here. Put it back together to show you. The camber bolt doesn't have the tangers. It's got a 18mm nut, 15mm head. You'll have this, and on stock camber bolts, this bolt will actually be this way. Instead of aftermarket ones, it's backwards this way. So, but it's the same bolt. And then next, what I like to do next is loosen the two brake caliper bolts. You're probably wondering, why are we taking all this off just to do a simple axle? A lot of people, what they do is they'll get those two bolts loose and they'll like pry it down to get it out. While that may work for stock axles, if you have aftermarket axles, the way that I do it is by far way easier to get the axle out and to put it back on. So you're gonna remove. Next, we're gonna move these two brake caliper bolts. There's one here, right here, and there's one below it. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like right there. Remove those two. I set up a jack stand so you can just place that on there. You won't have to worry about much. So let me do that real quick. And sometimes it's just be a little tough just fighting against the brake pads. And just set it right there. Kind of move it in a little bit to get it out the way. Boom. Now you've only got two bolts left. You got this 21 right here, and then your tail arm bolt. A lot of people will just take out this bolt, like I said, and just pull this down. But if you have beefier axles, it's going to be a pain to put these back in. So what we're doing is removing this entire assembly. It's way easier, trust me. Once you do it, you'll understand why I like it this way. Set you guys back up here. Grab my 21. Now this bolt is on there pretty strong. I want to say torque specs like 130. So if you don't have a Milwaukee, I would break this bolt first before you do anything else. Break. Don't like where I had that. This is that 21 mil. It's a pretty big bolt. Like I said, torque spec's like 130. If you don't have a big gun, it's gonna be a tough bolt to take out. I will say that. But it'll come out once you break it loose. It's just threaded into the aluminum bucket that holds the spring, so it'll come out. It won't be rusted or anything like that. Look at that. It's actually squared pretty good. Then we got one bolt left. So some people, like I said, they'll pull it down where it is, and while sometimes it'll work, I just see it's not enough leverage to get it down. So I'm gonna come with the arm bolt, which is that 22 that I had grabbed earlier. Grab that 22 mil, and then grab your 7/8 or 22 metric. Put that bad boy on there. Before I take that off, actually, do this. Because once you take that bolt off, everything will be loose. So, before you take it off, thread one of the top bolts back in it. And then just throw the nut on it so it doesn't fall on me. Now take your 22 and your 7/8. Boom. So now it's free. It'll actually fall if you use the vertical link bolt. I don't like to keep that bolt in there, but it's working for right now. But you see how much more room you have for the axle? Now all you have to do, a lot of people say, oh, go on the diff, pry. It's a way easier way. Grab the bar of the axle and just pull it. Boom, come right out. This is the tough side. Go. And it'll come right out just like that. A lot of people struggle trying to remove it from the diff side over there. You know, they'll take a pry bar, they'll pry right here. This side. They'll pry along these edges. You're trying to release this C-clip right here. What I found, the easiest way, just I can grab it right here by this bar and pull it, you know, 1-2 good times and it'll come right out. Now, if you're looking at these axles, probably wondering why am I taking them out? Well, one of the boots is torn and I was going to replace it, but talked to G-Force, they wanted me to send it back in and then they'll replace it for me. So that's why we're going back to the stock ones, we're back in that box. And putting it back in is a reverse process. Alright, so getting ready to go back in. Always verify your C-clip is on here. Even though this is a stock axle, I just like to visually see it. You know, make sure threads are clean. Just push it back in. Now, another trick that I have. Sometimes it's easier if you go underneath the car, line it up, and then push it in. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Now you just have to push it in. Make sure you hear that click. What I like to do, gently tug on it. You'll feel it not leave, but you should hear an audible click once you put it in. And now I just put everything back in reverse. I'm gonna remove this bolt that we placed here just so it didn't fall on us. I'm gonna show you how much easier it is to put this back on, because you wouldn't have to, like, a lot of people, they like to bend this down real aggressively and like loop it back in there. You ain't gotta do all that. I've been doing it this way so long and it saves so much time. The light up here. Alright, so one thing that I also like to tell people to watch out for, make sure you don't bend your dust shield. If you feel like you're gonna bend it, you can take the rotor off, and then it's 3 8mm, but you don't have to do all that. My rotor, if your rotor's like mine and it's not coming off of there, you just leave it on there. Just try not to bend it. But now, alright, and just like that, all done. Wheels torqued, axle nut torqued. Again, 150 foot-pounds on the wheels and 150 on the axle nut. But yeah, so this is my 2019 Gen 3 MT82 car. Yeah, and then under the hood, got a nice little hood. It's a Cobra Jet car as well. You know, nothing crazy. Eventually, this car will be back up and running, but you know, for now, just been chilling, fixing parts. You know, follow Instagram Kona_pony. Yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, this is the easiest way I think to replace your axles on the S550. Follow these tips and you'll be done in 20 minutes aside. That's how fast I can do it. I did it at the track on the stock axles when I broke them. It took me 20 minutes. There was an old guy over there. He's like, "No way, he just changed his entire." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I've been doing this for a minute." So yeah, I'm gonna start doing more tutorials like this. I know there's a lot of other younger S550 folks out there. And if you're like me, I started out working on the Mustangs, and you know, I do other cars and stuff now. So I figured I'd give you some of my tips and tricks on how I do things. And again, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like the channel. Like the video if you like the video. Peace. See you guys next time.